Okay, so we are back now and we are live. Okay, so sorry about that. We had some internal disruptions and disconnections. So we're back now. At some points, people were not hearing what I was saying. So I had to disconnect. So now I'm back and we're just going to go straight into the point. So we are here for the next 1 hour. You need to hear everything that we're going to be discussing here. Topic again is how much a family of five needs to feed in Nigeria currently. We are all aware of the current situation and the inflation and price hikes in Nigeria. And I think it's not just in Nigeria; it's happening everywhere. But particularly, in case you have someone to support in Nigeria, this is the right time to do so, right? And then you may want to know how much. But what we are going to be discussing here is not exactly how much the person needs for the upkeep. What we're just going to discuss food, just feeding, okay? So if we said 300,000 for feeding, doesn't mean that comprises of transportation. That doesn't include housing. That doesn't include power bills. It doesn't include other things. Just feeding. Our focus is on feeding. Okay. So please, no husband should watch this and start telling the wife this is how much I'm going to be giving you. Please don't do that. All right. So I'm just going to give us 1 minute to share this video to your friends and loved ones. A lot of people are confused, especially people who are newly married. I think I should do another video for people who are newly married, maybe for a family of two, right? Yeah, because that's where the confusion sets in. The wife is in the family and may not completely know what to do. And maybe she's just coming out from a family of 6 or 7 or 8 and all. And then this is just the wife and the man. And sometimes it could be very difficult to cope. So I think I'm going to do a separate video on that. So permit me to take notes of that, okay? So use this time to share. I'm particularly going to share to my Facebook friends as well. Okay, I'm taking note of that topic. How much a should use for feeding. So tomorrow we're going to be talking about if a family of five can manage 50,000 and 100,000 for feeding, is almost impossible presently, but we'll see what we can offer to them. I'll sit down and do a list, right, of how that can be possible. Because the truth is that it's not everybody that even ends up to 100,000 currently in Nigeria, right? So how can those people cope? So we'll be here for them tomorrow. For today, we're discussing what you can. Some people made some suggestions in the previous video, and we're still holding on for some people to join. Yeah, thank you for joining. Thank you for tuning in. If you just joined, please say hi. Please say hi if you just joined. Thank you. And then do not forget to share to your loved ones. I'm sharing it right away. Okay, yeah, thank you for joining. So I'm also. Hello. What happened? What's going on? Could this be network interruptions? Yeah, I think so. What happened to my camera? What happened to my camera? Edidion, what happened to my camera? I can't say anything. I can't see anything. I can't see myself. Hello. I don't know what happened. Wow, we are back after about 5 minutes of being mute. I can't even tell what happened. I can't even tell what happened. But this life is here to stay. So if you can hear me, please say hi on the chat box. Let me be sure that you can hear me before we start. Let me know if you can hear me wherever you're watching me from. Hello. Let me know if you can hear me from where you're watching me from. Let it flow with a love giving river. Ooh, let it flow, let it flow. Can you hear me? Where are my viewers? Okay, I'm just going to continue. I'm sure you can hear me now. So I'm just going to continue. And like I'd already given us a the caption, like we're looking at what a family of five, of how much a family of five can use presently to in Nigeria, considering the inflation rate and whatever is happening in the country. So I'm going to delve in straight away to the lists I have before me right now. So let me talk about five should use to feed in a month. Um, the list goes thus for one. Are we even ready? Are we ready? If you're ready, say hello. All right. So I have this list right before me. I know that um people are not limited to eat what is in my list, okay? So but it's just a guide. You can decide to add something or subtract something from it, okay? It's just a guide. All right. So I added here that you can buy a quarter bag of rice. Yes. For some persons who may not want to eat just this, just rice, maybe you have other options. Um you can actually use this quarter bag for 2 months. But I doubt anyway for 5 people, depending on the other choices that you have. Okay, so quarter bag of rice and quarter bag of gari. Most people don't even eat gari that much, so but I just included this. I said quarter bag of rice, 20,000 naira, which is a little bit less. Okay, and then quarter bag of gari, you can substitute that for any other swallow of your choice or any other carbohydrate that you may want to. Okay, I said quarter bag of gari. So pardon me if you do not eat gari, okay? And pardon me if you not eat too much of carbohydrates. But you can always replace that with something of your choice, okay? All right, thank you for understanding. Right, so I wrote here quarter bag of rice, 20,000 naira, and then swallow 10,000 naira. You can make your list from here, okay? And then 5 liters of vegetable oil. We can't completely do without vegetable oil, but you can minimize the usage because you need it to fry your stew. You need it to fry, especially if you have children. They'll need to eat something like fried plantain. They'll need to eat something like chips, and the places you have to curtail your because oil is presently very expensive. Right, so we got just about 5 liters of oil for about 12,000 naira this evening. Okay, about 12,000 naira. So another thing that you can put on the menu, the cheapest soup options you have presently should be melon soup and okra soup. Those best soups. I don't know, maybe in your locality or where you live, you may have cheaper soup options. But for me, I believe the cheapest is melon and okra. If somebody is asking why not a fang soup and white soup, you can make those soups for less than 5,000 naira. So if you want to make those soups, it should be that you actually have up to maybe 200,000 or and all that. But of course, who says you can't do that once in a while? So it all depends on how you create your budget, okay, and work with it, right? So you can actually eat those things once in a while. So the fact that you have less than 150,000 naira doesn't mean that you shouldn't eat other stuff. So you just know how to manage it and and bring in those other choices once in a while. But if you want to be eating that, 150,000 naira cannot take care of that. So we're currently looking at what 150,000 can do for a family of 5, right? So we mentioned, let me quickly go through from where I started to where I am presently. For 150,000 naira, you can manage a quarter bag of rice, a quarter bag of gari, or any other soup you may or food you may want to replace with gari. Okay, and 5 liters of vegetable oil, right? And then melon on. Let me just say soups. Okay, let me just say cheap soups. Let me just say cheap soups for 10,000 naira. It means you're not going to be eating that all the time. Okay, and cheap soups for 10,000, is that possible? Yeah, it's up to you to decide what you want and how you want it, but we're just trying to see something we can create within 150,000, right? And then let's see how we can use this to make stew. I wrote tin tomato, I wrote carrots, and I wrote bell peppers, which is otherwise called tatashi. I wrote onion, right? And things we've bought oil already, so we're not going to add money for oil. And then we'll later in the list, which is the very next thing, we have meats. So we're not going to add money for meat. We're not going to add money for oil and all. So just the vegetables that you need to make the stew. I wrote tin tomato 2,500, or two small medium sizes. Okay, and you can actually divide this into two to make your stew twice, right? So I think a perfect thing will be to drop this list later in the video. Okay, right, and then since tomato 2,500 naira, carrot 1,005. I like using carrot a lot. You may want to replace carrot with fresh tomato, but I haven't used fresh tomato to make my stew in a very long time. What do you use? Somebody's asking, what do you use? A little bit of tin tomato. I use carrot. I use tatashi, which is otherwise is called pepper. I used onion, and I used peppers. Right? Yeah, yeah. Good to have you, Duchess Courage. Good to have you. All right. So if you use all these for 3,500, I'm adding the money, the cost here. Tin tomato 5, carrots or fresh tomato 1,000, and tatashi 2,000. So if at all you use bell peppers, the tatashi, it should be more. If at all you use fresh tomato, your quantity of tatashi should be more. Is somebody learning something new? That should be new. But for me, I said I haven't even used it for a long time. So I just use carrot and tatashi, and my stew always comes out very delicious. Absolutely delicious. You may want to be like me after watching this video to start using this. But some people are still very used to using fresh tomato and all that. If that is you, please go ahead with your fresh tomato. For me, no more fresh tomatoes, except I decide to add it once in a while. Okay. All right. All right. So tin tomato 2,500, carrot 1,000, tatashi 2,000, onion 2,000, sweet pot. Okay. All right. Onion 2,000, and this 2,000 naira worth of onion where I live is a full basket, so it can actually last you for a full month. Okay, you can't use that for just to make stew, one pot of stew. So it's going to last for a full month to make other foods. Okay. All right. So you can have all these stew things for 3,555, 7,500. Let's say minimum. Let's say about 10,000 naira. Okay, let's say about 10,000 naira for a big pot of stew. And then I added meat of that is 5,000 naira worth. Okay, can this last for a full month? I'm not sure it can last you for a full month, but it can take you for at least 2 weeks, depending on how much stew you use. Okay, you may have some options of vegetable sauce once in a while, and you may have options of egg sauce once in a while, right? Um, okay, so that's why we're going to create room for miscellaneous, for those tiny things that you need to buy, which is not currently in this list. All right, so you can buy something like sweet potato. A full basket of sweet potato is 2,000, about 2,000 naira where I live currently, and I know some persons get it more expensive and some people get it cheaper. So it depends on where you are watching me from. So the sweet potato of 2,000 naira worth can last maybe for like a week or something, maybe for like 5 days. When it finishes, you can actually, get something else to eat along with your rice and your soup and your salt or whatever you have. Okay. Then eggs. Whether you have lots of money or you have little money, there's something you mustn't joke with. Because the truth is that if you're using about 150,000 naira for feeding, you're not going to have a lot of money to buy a lot of protein options. So make sure that everybody in your family eats at least one egg per day, right? That is very nutritional, and it is a good way to save money. So for a family of five, it means you need 5 eggs a day, and a crate of egg is about 4,000 naira or less, depending on where you're watching me from. Um, yes, so you need about 20,000 naira to buy 5 crates of eggs for a family of five. Yeah, I know that it's going to be about 16,000 naira, but I just added 20,000. Okay, right, to be on the safe side. Um, you will need beverages. I added beverages for 15,000. 15,000 naira beverages. The truth is that if you have children growing up who eat lots of milk, who take lots of tea, 15,000 naira is not going to be enough. So you have to find a way and manage it. So we're all talking about streamlining your budget to what you have available. So if you know you're earning like 150,000, you may decide not to eat swallow and use channel the money to buying more beverages for your children, because 15,000 naira cannot get that done. Okay, so I'm going to give you my recommendation of how you should feed when I'm done with this list. Okay, so I also added beans to the list. I said beans 10,000 naira. Beans is a great option, even though it has a high um a high carbohydrate portion. So it doesn't mean it has a completely protein, but it has a greater percentage of protein, like more than 20% of protein. Okay, but it also has carbohydrates as well. So beans of 10,000 naira can be manageable. And then do not forget the gas you are going to use to cook this food. I'm always careful to add the gas, because without the gas you can't cook the food. So if we say you are going to manage gas of 10,000 naira, it means you cannot cook everything with gas for a whole month. That's what it means. So maybe you need to find other options like charcoal or whatever. Yes, the truth is that 150,000 cannot buy gas that is more than 10,000 naira. Okay, don't forget that we're looking for a way to streamline our budget to 150. I'm also going to expand it to when you have up to 200,000 and to when you have 250,000. Okay, so this is just limited to 150,000 naira. And then do not forget to leave about 10,000 naira for miscellaneous. That is very important. Miscellaneous could and can include things like maybe your gas finishes and you need to fill it quickly. So if you have 100,000 to feed, you cannot take the whole 1,000 to go and buy bulk food. You need to use maybe like 100,000 to buy gas, to buy the food, other things to buy gas, and and then have a reserve in case your gas finishes, or in case something that is very important you can't do without finishes. Okay, and you are not stranded. Okay, because if you want to use a whole 100,000 to buy bulk food, you may be stranded before the end of the month, right? So miscellaneous is very important. And then if you add everything that I've mentioned from the beginning, from the rice to this, the miscellaneous is about 130,000. So I mentioned salad, fruit, and vegetables, which is very important for 20,000 naira. It therefore means that if you are using 150,000 naira, you cannot do this salad, fruit, and vegetables. That's how serious it is. So I encourage everybody living in Nigeria, please work hard, because the prices of things are not smiling. This is the point. You will need different sources of income. You need different sources of income at this point, right? And I trust that God will bless the work of your hands and make you prosper in all that you do, so that you and your family will be able to feed well, right? And this is actually the time to also eat less. Eat less is going to, number one, is going to help you check your weight. I heard a story of a young man who was gaining so much weight, almost obese. So he made up his mind that he was going to check his weight and save money. He checked his weight and saved money. And he made up his mind that he was going to use only 500 naira to feed per day. Now, if an individual uses 500 naira per day to feed, I don't know if he can still use that to feed presently. But I heard something like that he'll buy a kara, fried akara that is very nutritious. Remember, he was a bachelor, so he didn't have a family, a large family. So he'll buy something like akara that is worth 100 naira, and then he'll eat just that with water, and he's good to go for breakfast. And then he'll use another 200 naira to find something else to do for lunch. And he was able to save a good amount of money. And he was able to check weights as well, because by the time you have too much food, it means you're going to grow fatter. Okay. And then if you have more money, it is not I'm not encouraging you to, I'm not encouraging, yeah, Mr. Simon, good to have you back. If you have more money, I'm not encouraging you to buy more carbohydrates. You should actually channel that more money, like I added here, salads, fruits, and vegetables. So if you have one full, for an adult, if you have one full, one main carbohydrate meal a day, that's fine. And then you can decide to add fruits and vegetables to have a very healthy life. So for Nigerians, this is a good time to fast a lot. It's a good time to fast a lot. The fasting is going to help you grow spiritually, and it's going to help you check your weight, and it's also going to help you save money, right? And is, yes, okay. So I'm going to we're going to use the remaining 30 minutes we have into what other food options can you add to the 150,000 naira list we have. So for example, if you have up to 200,000 to feed a family of 5, remember that we did not have a lot of protein options there. We just had meat of 5,000 and eggs. So you can't say for a whole month that you're not going to eat chicken, right? But if your salary is less than 150, I think chicken should be like Christmas food for you. That's the truth. We're talking reality here, right? Yes, that's the truth. Your main protein should be eggs. So, but if you have more up to 200,000, you should consider adding more protein options like chicken. Yes, you should consider adding more fruits and vegetables, and you should consider adding more beverages, especially for a family who have more children, like mine, right? You should consider adding more beverages, because the other list had just beverages of 150,000, which is beverage of 15,000, which is not enough. A pack of milk is depending on the size. The medium size or the big size now is about 6,000 naira. So just milk and a Milo and Golden Morn and bread and all that, which should last for 1 week, takes more than 15,000. So if you're going to be buying that weekly, you need to add more. So if you have up to 200,000, add more chicken, add more salad, fruit and vegetables, and add more, and then you can add something like plantain, okay? And then you can add more beverages. And then if you have up to 250,000 to feed a family of 5, I'm going to recommend that you add snacks, especially for children, right? And beverages. And then the snacks that you're adding, do you know that if you're not careful, 250,000 won't even be enough to feed your family and your children? So I recommend that you start making your snacks by yourself. That's the truth. Because if you're going to buy a loaf of bread for a family of 5, they're just going to finish in one sitting. So I recommend that you have food options like pancakes. If you check this channel, you're going to see my pancake recipe. Or may need to create another recipe soon, right? Okay, but if you search for it, you'll see pancake recipe on this channel, and it's a good one. So I make that almost all the time to ensure that we spend less on snacks like bread and the rest. Yes, this is a time to really think before you spend, a time to really think before you buy that food. And then I'm going to talk a little bit about buying snacks outside, maybe something like egg roll, okay? But for people who think they don't have the money to cook, they want to be buying, bachelors, they want to be buying snacks and mineral every day. It is not healthy for you, okay? You can't do that every day, maybe once in a long while. So one of the topics I'm going to come up with between now and Sunday is meal plan for diabetics, okay? Diabetic meal plan. So you can't be diabetic, or you can't want to be controlling diabetes in the future, and you are eating and you are taking drinks and fizzy drinks every day, right? So that's a whole topic on its own. So we'll talk about that. All right. Okay. So for today, I said you can add snacks options and beverages, more beverages, and then you can add salad, fruit, and vegetables, right? If you have up to 250,000, okay, and then you can, if you have up to 250,000 to feed a family of five, you can think of using gas all the time. You don't need to use charcoal here. Charcoal was just for people who cannot afford the gas up to 10,000 naira a month, okay. All right, and the truth is that I don't, yeah, I'm gladly waiting too. The truth is that I don't think the charcoal is even cheaper. That's the truth. All right. So if you have up to, I'm going to take questions as soon as possible. So prepare your questions. Prepare your questions. I'm going to start taking questions. So I'm going to talk about if you need to eat out once in a while and you have up to 300,000. If you have up to 300,000 for feeding, do not forget that this feeding does not include water bills, power bills, transportation, traveling, allowances, and housing. Do not forget that it doesn't include that, okay? So wisdom is profitable to direct. So you need to use wisdom and know how much you earn monthly. What's your monthly income? And you need to now sit down and have a list. I'm available for consultation, okay? You see, you can tell me, okay, the truth is that you don't even need to pay for the consultation. You can just comment on this video, or you can send me a mail. My mail, Mim's recipe, is on the channel. You can search for it. Okay, maybe I should also leave my mail as one of the comments here, and then I'm going to pin it so you see. So if you want me to if you want to be anonymous, you don't want people to know you're the one asking the question, just send me a mail, and what I will do will be to come and maybe do another video to respond to that, or I respond to it on the chat box. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. Yes, that's how intentional we are, because we do not want our viewers to be stranded in any way. So we'll be available to help in any way we can. Right. I'm sure this is a good time to like this video and leave a comment. If you're watching right now and you're yet to like this video, please like it as many times as you can and leave a comment. Hello, leave a comment. Leave as many comments as you can. Thank you so much. All right. So I said, I hope you are getting your questions ready. I said, if you have up to 300,000 that you can maybe consider eating out once in a while. The truth is 300,000 is not even much. That's the truth. So let me tell you the truth. Before you think that 300,000 is going to help you to eat out for up to 4 times in a month, you are telling a lie. It's not going to be. In fact, the truth is that if you don't have a lot of money, it is not a time you should consider eating out. Prepare your meals by yourself. Whoa, it's raining here. That's a good one. That's a good one. I hope you can hear me. I hope it's not interrupting with what we are doing. right. So if you have, like, if you just want to see how far this goes, the first month, do you want to use 300,000 for feeding? The first month, keep it, don't eat out yet. This is not time to do things anyhow. You need to plan before you do it, okay? So see how far the 300,000 takes you for the month, okay? Like, don't forget that the amount of money you use for feeding depends on your food choices. Somebody who is ready to eat rice every day cannot spend the same money as someone who is eating rice, eating shawarma, eating burger. It can't be the same money that you will spend, okay? It can't be the same money. So this video is for people who are spending between 150,000 to 300,000. So tomorrow we're going to do a video of how people, for a family of 5, don't forget, okay? Tomorrow we're going to see how people, a family of 5, can use 50,000 to 120,000 to feed. I don't know how possible that is going to be, but we'll just find something. We definitely have to find something for that group of people, because we know that it's not that easy for some people. Yeah, we know that it's not easy for some people. Some people earn very limited amount of money, and so it's not everybody that can have up to 150,000 to spend on food, okay? And the ultimate thing and the most important thing is that they have to feed. Their children have to feed. So we're concerned about how people are faring presently. So that's why we're bringing up this video. Do not forget to share the video to your WhatsApp status. Do not forget to share it to your family and friends. Somebody can learn a thing or two, okay? And somebody can ask questions while learning. And we are really right available to, to give details, to give explanation, to respond to your questions. All right. So I'm going to be using the next. Okay, let me give you the next 1 minute to share this video to people, to your Facebook, to your WhatsApp, to your friends and family who you think need to hear something like this. I'm going to give you 1 minute to do that, to share the video, and then another 5 minutes to start dropping your questions. If you're just joining us, we are talking about how a family of 5 can use between 150,000 naira to 300,000 to feed. Okay, all right. So let me get your questions. I'd like to attend to your questions for the next 20 minutes. If you have any questions, get your questions ready. Get your questions ready. And do not forget to share the video. Do not forget to share the video. Share the video, and do not forget to like, and do not forget to drop your comments, okay? Right. So let me attend to your questions. Let me use the next 20 minutes to attend to your questions. Let me use the next 20 minutes to attend to your questions. Thank you so much for joining me. All right, I'm waiting to respond to your questions. Waiting to respond to your questions. I'm waiting to respond to your questions. Does anybody have a question to ask? Okay. Mr. Ojima says, I was about asking about families that earn less than 150,000. Okay. Yes. Then let them join my live tomorrow. We're doing another live recording tomorrow. Okay. I think we should even schedule that. I'm going to schedule that, and I'm going to schedule that so that we can send the link to our family and friends as early as we can so that they can join. Okay. Yeah, Duchess Courage says, I can't wait for tomorrow's live. Hey, good to have a Duchess of my life. Could this be the that Duchess of California, London? I would like to know where you're watching me from, Duchess Courage. I would like to know where you're watching me from. All right. So, does anybody have another question other than the one Mr. Ojima asked? I know that lots of people will be looking forward to tomorrow's life. I can't wait either. I can't wait either because people are looking for how to get cheaper food options so that they don't spend so much. People cannot be spending all their income, all their earnings on food. No, there are lots of other things to do in life. Okay, yeah. Mama Alpha says I'm watching from Abuja. Yeah, good to have you. Good to have you, Alpha, watching from Abuja, Nigeria. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining. All right. Do you have any question? I would like to attend to questions now. Oh, let it flow, let it flow. Do not go anywhere. Oh, Duchess says she's watching from Abuja, Nigeria. Are you a Nigerian? Good to have you. What a privilege to have a Duchess join. All right. So, Duchess, what are the type of foods you like eating? So that we can see